Hello, is this thing on? Test. Testing 1, 2. We seem to be on. Okay. Don't worry, we're not racing. We are testing. Copy, we are testing. Waiting for some guys to get in. Good evening so far to everyone watching. Tonight's race is going to be interesting, but I'm not sure. I'm going to just watch the race go down in the meantime, or this little test race. No. Okay. Peeps have been done with the test race. They're gonna reset the lobby in when? Easy. Triple reset at 9 o'clock and then quali on. Good evening in the chats. Say good evening if you are there. Hello. In the meantime, we'll see what the peeps are doing. Let's see what happens. Let's mute my audio there. I just have to keep the screen on for the chat. Okay. Interesting lineup of cars as well. Very interesting lineup of cars. Very mixed breeds. Rusty, good evening. Hope you had a good race, sir. This one looks to be quite grueling, if I may say so. Unfortunately, I was just not able to race myself. But that was some powerful lag. Oh my word, again. Two Cav R guys going at it, one in the blue, one in the red. It's like Pokemon all over again. Okay. I'm gonna kick it off. Yep, came first, back to pool 1. Very nice, very nice. Well done, bro. Yeah, look like a lot of the guys are hopping between pool 1 and 2 here. So why is Kurlafiba just set a 596 hour, 31 minutes, 23 seconds, 648 split second race lap? Nice to see Gran Turismo hasn't changed in that way. What a drive. Let's see what these guys can do. We're going to be resetting anytime, any second now. Sorry about that. And once the reset happens, we'll do the intros and stuff. Most just chilling. Everyone else getting as much track time as they can. Good evening. Have a good race. What you says. And there we go. The room is being prepared. Okay, while we do that, welcome everybody, welcome into the stream. This is the Gran Turismo South Africa Manufacturer Series Round 3. We are in pool 1 for this race, and a shout out to our sponsors before we kick it all off. It is, what are the sponsors? Rhino Utilities, I always get stuck here. Rhino Utilities, Mayfair Gearbox, Right Recruitment, TGN, Racing Simulators, Track Art, CHOC, the Childhood Foundation of Cancer. And anything else? GTSA, Turismo South Africa. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think we're good. So, we are going to kick it off here. Group 3 at the Autopolis racetrack in Japan. This is going to be quite a grueling one because since the physics changes, these cars feel a lot slower around twisty track. So twisty tracks such as these, it's made quite a difference. I think overall, the Group 3 cars are much slower in general because of the new tire physics. But the guys have adjusted very well to it. Gularovan is already like taking the charge, leading the outlaps at the moment. Leviticus behind. We've got GTSA in the green Porsche, the shiny chrome. These are the 9BR colors that we know and love. SMP3 Pro with the Martini design. There must always be one, but very, very nice livery indeed. Serious Sam in the Honda NSX, and was sporting a livery that you would usually see on Ghost Killer Paces cars. Oh, Sam already getting racy. He's going ahead. He wants to make as much time as he can, get as much laps as he can. Goes ahead of SMP3 Pro there. As much as this is qualifying, the guy's already racing. Whew, I'm getting yawny already. We've got SMP Stiganator in P6 driving the McLaren 650S. Kennels in the Corvette. Gilaro's also in a Corvette. I don't know if I said that before. We've got Hollywood in his favorite Toyota Supra, sporting the blue and white livery today. We've got RBS Performance in the AMG 2020. Very nice design here. Almost looking like the Opel of Opels of old, the Opel Calibra and such. Stiganator going in from the hards to the mediums. You have to qualify on the mediums here. No soft tires allowed because, quite frankly, they're pretty useless in this race on this racetrack with these current settings. Fluffy Butt in the Alfa Romeo 4C, a car that we don't really see often at all. Stephen Berry, sup all. Good evening, Stephen. Nice to have you here. We've got OJGDS, King of Monza in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. Also another car that we barely see, and he's sporting the how do I say this? The Visa Cash App Red Bull Slayer Pace livery. Jeez, that's a mouthful. We've got Steve running 11th in the Citroen GT, another car we don't really see often, but it's here. Running the red, blue and white livery for Cav R today. SBR Ruan. As always, beautiful colors. That pink just suits that McLaren. You can see that pink car coming down. You'll know it's Ruan. Don't forget to like and share with some fire. Yes, share to your pets and everything. And then Gilara right at the back. Looks like he went into the pits. Yes, 100%. He went into the pits to go for another set of tires. Which means it is Serious Sam taking the charge for the first flying lap. Pool 1.2 here. Wait, I didn't even realize that there was a bloody heart in my way. There's an icon in my way. So Rusty, are you back into pool 1 or you're back into pool 2 now? Because like 1.2 came to flip. That's so confusing. Hello there, Francois Rousseau. Mark also saying, hey all, Stiganator by GT Works. You were in pool 2, going back to pool 1. Oh, what the heck was that view there? Someone spinning off track there. Who was it? Kennels, oh no, finding himself the first one to take first blood, apparently. Serious Sam, okay, lap times are being set. Serious Sam with a very, very respectable 146.947. RBS very close behind him with a 146.986. OJ very close behind as well. The chat is actually getting in my way here. Let me see if I can quickly just change that. I'm gonna move the chat overlay, bottom right. Okay, yeah, we don't need to see the track map. But anyway, 147, 113 from OJGDS, 137, 2.256 from GTRSA. Steve sitting on 147, 394, SMP3 with a 147.6, Fluffy Butt 147.6, Hollywood with a 148.4, the Vitius with a 149.0. Looks like he made a mistake on his flying lap. And the rest of the guys all going into pit for mediums. Serious Sam going onto hards and getting some track time on the hards. Interesting. Sure, he's not going to be qualifying on this. Yeah, probably made a mistake. Fast Ross, Francois Ross. Oh, okay, I get it. Oh my word, that's beautiful. Welcome in, Fast Ross. Third in your pool. Very nice. Awesome stuff. The guys are flying here tonight. Okay, Levitius, naturally, he is where he's meant to be with a 146.4. 146.8 by Fluffy Butt. So goes second, putting that Alfa Romeo through its paces there. 147.0 by OJ. Stop laughing at me, Stephen. OJ slows down on track, he's letting the other groups go by, maybe just giving some time for those tires to cool down a little bit. And then we got GTRSA going on to hards. Looks like our qualifying is already done. I think it's 7 minutes in total. So everyone's choosing their tires right now. Steve sets another fast lap with 147.309. So the grid is very, very, very close. Look at this. Separated all the way up until 7th. Was within a second of the fastest lap. Or just over a second, sorry. Second from second place. Oh, the guys are still going faster. Jeez, sorry for all the view changes there. But okay, we got Ruan with a 146.6. Fluffy Butt with a 146.8. Serious Sam he still hasn't set a faster time and he's chilling with that. So we're going to see now. We've got Levidius in first, Ruan in second. Fluffy Bun in third, Serious Sam 4th, RBS 5th, OJ 6th, Kilara Brain 7th, GTRS 8th, Kevar Steve 9th, SMP 10th, Hollywood 11th, Stiganator 12th, Kennels in 13th with that unfortunate incident. And the curveball for tonight is we got a rolling start, so it's gonna space out the grid a relative bit, and lights out and away we go. We're gonna go on board with RBS GT here. See what things are like into corner 1. Everyone goes into single file, getting up, and Kennel's already going for a move there. You'll see RBS looking up for a move on Sam. Does not make it though. OJ going for a move on Gilara, I think, or just keeping his position away from Gilara, that's right. And looks like everyone gets through cleanly on the first 2 corners. Gilara looking again for a spot. I think he just overtook GTRSA. I'm so confused. Things just happen so fast here. But grid is already spaced out. Kennel's going ahead of Stiganator there. So Stiganator losing out and has got rear bumper damage. I wonder if there was maybe a bit of touch and go there. Heavy damage is on for this race. So Stiganator starting off on a back foot, and a very, very terrible back foot to have on this track here because that's very downforce specific. Levitius already sporting a 1.2 second lead. Fluffy Butt going for the move onto SBR Ruin there through the hairpin, side by side on the exit. The Alpha looks like it has very good exit speed. And Serious Sam on the hard tires. I think we didn't even go through tires, but looks like most are running hards. Fluffy Butt on the mediums. That's why he was able to get ahead of Ruin. Levitius going for the flyer. He's going to make those mediums put to work. Starting off on the better tires and trying to finish off on the strong on the mediums going towards the end. But so SBR Ruan leading the hard runner charge. Serious Sam's right down in 4th place. RBS in 5th, very close onto Sam's tail there. OJ on 6th. Gilara 7th, GTRSA 8th. Steve 9th on the mediums, so he's going to have a lot of work to do. And SMP also on the mediums, down in 10th. Hollywood on the hards, Kennels on the medium, so he's taking a very big gamble here. Stiganator already going in, getting rid of the hard tires though, so he's gonna maybe do 2 runs on mediums, or he might have to do a 3rd pit stop, unfortunately. So once again, damaged pit stop, and we have an incident. Kennel spinning out on the same corner that he did on qualifying. That first corner can really ruin you. So Kennels once again starting on the back, starting lap 2 on the back foot, as well as Stiganator. So unfortunately, from 12, 13, 14, and 15th all have the possibility of being relegated to Pool 2, which is still a very fast pool to be sure. But anyway, going back to the top. Good evening, Jess. Good evening, Marco. Nice to have you in the chat, my guy. Levitius pulling a solid 2-second lead away from Fluffy, but the gap does come down. As I said, the exit speed of the Alpha looks to be menacing at the moment. So Levitius is going to be looking in his mirrors, but he has at least some breathing room. Going back to the rest of the pack, we got Ruan 4 tenths ahead of Sam, 4 tenths ahead of RBS, 5 tenths ahead of OJ, making a slight gap towards GTRSA, but then 2 tenths between Steve and GTRSA. Another 6 tenths between SMP Steve. Kilara 9 tenths, just under a second, just going over a second now. Hollywood 3 tenths behind Kilara here. So it looks like the Corvettes aren't doing too well on this track. Maybe their boaty handling is coming to effect here with the Group 3 races. Kennels down 12th and 13th comes in the back of the pack with Stiganator. Gap staying relatively the same, 2 seconds from Levitius to Fluffy Butt, and they're going to try and want to get as big of a gap as they can. Serious Sam giving Rowan a run for his money, OJ giving RBS a run for his money. But it's beautiful to see all these cars going ahead. We've got 5 manufacturers, 6 manufacturers, 7 manufacturers in the top 7. 8 in the top 8. So we got Porsche in 8th, Citroen in 7th, Aston Martin in 6th, Mercedes in 5th. And there's a move being made here. OJ goes around the outside, but that is not where you want to be overtaking. Does he do go for the cutback though? Not enough. That's not enough of a turn to be able to do that. It's going to be very close in the slipstream though. Serious Sam also looking for a move on Rowan, but doesn't have enough space just yet. OJJDS moves a little bit back, doesn't make the move yet. Steve is also catching up. He's on the medium tires, so he's going to make those tires work. He's going to want to try and get ahead, but battling can really ruin your tires on this track, at this race, with the settings, with these cars. So very, very close contention here for what is actually a fight for net first position in terms of tires and pits. So these guys are going to be running a lot longer than Levitius and Fluffy Butt up in first and second. Serious Sam falling a little bit behind. I think Rowan has maybe kicked it up a gear. Oh, he's found his space, while Sam has to defend from RBS, who's defending from OJ. So we got a nice 3-way fight here for 4th at the moment. What do you find the most tricky part of the combo? The game. Probably. A very close contention here between all these guys. The 2 Porsches going at it. SMP goes for a move onto GTRSA and makes it stick with those medium tires. I'm sure GTRSA must be picking up the trail now and thinking, okay, SMP must be on better tires if he can make that move go like that. Very well, very clean move there done by SMP3. Kilara Brain and Hollywood still also battling, close contention there between them. Kennel's not so far behind. He's going to have a lot of clear air to catch up, and Stiganator also wants to make this run work, because he might have to put another 2 times, putting on lap 1 there. Almost 3 seconds between Levitius and Fluffy Butt right now. So we'll see, will that gap increase or decrease? Ruan is staying within a relative distance. That gap has been around 5 seconds for maybe a lap and a half now. So maybe Fluffy Butt has made a few mistakes there. RBS does get ahead of Serious Sam. We didn't see that happen, but it happened. Driving in dark on this track was difficult for me. Oh man, unfortunately I wasn't able to make the race. I was actually at my Gran's 89th birthday today. So happy birthday to my grandmom. And yeah, that's why I couldn't make the race. We just had enough time because she was a bit out of it right about 8 o'clock. So we decided to scatter as the family. But yeah, going back to the race again, this close contention battle still going down for 4th place. Serious Sam is not having a good run at the moment. He's now under attack by his teammate OJ. Does the team orders go through? Happy Granny Day. Thank you very much, Stephen. Serious Sam, he doesn't. He hangs it on the outside. He's actually giving OJ a run, a little bit of a fight, but goes onto the grass slightly, losing a little bit of touches. Now he's open to attack from Kev or Steve, who already looks for a move. Looks for the move, but doesn't make it happen. Okay, he backs out of that one for a little bit. The pack, honestly, this close battle is happening all the way from 4th down till 9th, 10th place, 11th, all just about within 1 second of each other. As I say that, Hollywood gets a little bit slidey on the exit of that corner and now loses a little bit of time to Gilara. Gilara gets a little bit of time to breathe. GTSA has a little time to breathe, but Steve is on the charge to get ahead. OJGDS, I didn't realize OJ is on the mediums, so RBS doing a fantastic job, but using a lot of fuel in the process to get ahead on those hard tires. We'll see. If refueling is set to very slow on this racetrack, so it could be detrimental to RBS's strat. We can just hope that he can make enough of a time gap to... Oh, Sam gets very slidey going there into this section. Very, very treacherous, but still very close between all these guys here, all the way up until 10th. This is some fantastic racing here by the guys. Leviticus is in a land of his own, as well as Fluffy Butt. But Ruan honestly catching up time now. So Fluffy Butt definitely made a mistake. You can see he set a 149.637 for his last lap. Meanwhile, Ruan consistent on the 148. He just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. So Ruan he's now in his element. RBS leading the charge for this battle for 4th. Steve fell a little bit behind as well. So I wonder if that's now the first little bit of tire drop off from the medium runners. Because now Sam has a little bit more time to breathe. But they're breathing down the necks. The two pace guys chasing down RBS GT here. We'll see RBS also getting faster and faster and faster as time goes on. OJ as well with a 147.9. But Ruan catching up to Fluffy Butt actually, which is crazy to think with the tire difference. So it looks like the Alfa Romeo 4C is still really good on its tires if you compare the two of them. Although Leviticus is noticeably driving much harder than the other medium runners, hence why he's getting such fast times. But he has to do this in order to make the longer hard stint worth it. And this is the other thing: odds are crossing over versus the mediums. Yeah, that's exactly what my thought processes are. Because once you hit this 50%, as you can see at the bottom left of your screen, the tire graph over there, once that tires go into the 50% mark, you lose around about a second of track speed. As you can see, Leviticus' lap times have gone to 146s to now 147s. Lost a solid second, and they will lose another second or even more once they hit the 25% mark. It almost works as majorly as it does in Formula 1 at the moment. So maybe Gran Turismo taking some notes there. But Fluffy Butt going quite wide there, doesn't get on the grass though. But his tires are in a much better shape than Leviticus, so he's maybe going a lot longer on the medium stunt compared to Leviticus Fluffy Butt goes onto the grass there. But now Ruan has some nice warm hard tires, and look at that consistency for the last 3 laps. 148.198, 148.104, 148.111. So 7 thousandths of a second separate these last 2 laps between each other. That is consistency, if anything else. RBS still challenging against OJ there. Have to change driving style and be so much smooth. Can't throw around the car anymore. Yep, exactly. And at higher tire levels, is there a move there? No, Sam is still falling a little bit behind from Steve there. But yeah, you can't really throw the car in as you used to, because The way you have to drive now since the physics update is you have to drive to really spare your tires. Steve getting real close to touching Sam there, but no contact, no contact made. Let me just take a sip of water here. I actually brought water tonight, guys. Whew, that is beautiful. Here we go, refresher. Sam goes onto the grass. Ooh, very risky there. And now he has Steve right on his tail, going for the move. Tries to brake late but cannot do it. Has to concede the position. Steve now goes up to 6th position. He is on the mediums. He is on better tires. The NSX looks like he's using a lot more tires than the rest of the pack though. Porsche really good on his rear tires so far. And GTSA has been impeccable with saving tires in this season. So shout out to him. Look at this. SMP3 Pro losing out a big load of time, because now his mediums is on the brink of extinction there. Kilara Brain still on the odds, still keeping a fairly decent consistency. And Hollywood has made up some ground. He dropped to just under 2 seconds and is now almost climbing down back to 1 second. Kennel's also losing a bit of ground. Went from I think 6 seconds to just under 8. Stiganator catching up though, but also you'll have to make an extra pit stop. Yeah, Vertius is going to have to pit soon, either this lap or next. We'll see what he does, because once the tires get to that 20% mark, he's going to be losing a big chunk of time. Fluffy Butt looks like he can at least do another 2 laps. Is he going to risk 2 laps though, or is he going to risk 1? Leviticus does go in on lap 8, so he's going to run a very long stint on hards or go for another pit stop. We'll have to see what he does there. Ruan now starting lap number 9, does overtake. There's going to be a lot of cars overtaking Leviticus here, so Leviticus is going to come out through in traffic. OJ following very close to RBS here. Steve trying to make up some ground. Or Serious Sam under attack by GTSA, and he makes the move happen. There's a little bit of contact. I think the hard tires are not loving that 86 at the moment. So Serious Sam is going to have to make that time back when he goes into the pits for his mediums. SMP3 Pro is going to be losing out a big chunk of time as well. So Galara might be held up a little bit as he closes the gap. Leviticus comes out in 11th. That shows you how closely compact this entire pack is. But that's the thing. How much time is Leviticus going to make? He actually goes on to mediums. I just realized that now. He goes for another set of mediums. So he's going to do 8 laps on mediums, then maybe 12 laps on mediums, and then do the last 1 or 2 laps on hards maybe. Because now that the track is a lot cooler, your tires wear out a lot less, so you'll be able to pull a longer stunt on those medium tires right now. Sam going off on the grass, not having a good race at the moment. Losing out touch to a lot of the hard runners. But RBS and Ruan, they have this hard tire pace down stat. That Ruan's still not losing any touch really with his lap times, even despite the slight tire drop of 25%. Just 2 tenths slower than his last laps. Let's see what this lap is. A 148.6, so slightly slower than the lot. But I mean, if you look from lap 2, he was in the 148 mark. So fantastic consistency. And that's same can be said for RBS. Slightly slower than Ruan, but no crying, no shying from incredible pace here. Much better than his race last week. OJDDS can just barely keep up with RBS here. Steve trying to claw back as much time as he can on the medium tires. GTR is making a slight gap towards Sam now. SMP3 Pro is slowing down a huge load. This is going to be a terrible run for SMP3, because look at this. Kilara on the inside. And now they go side by side into a very long corner. SMP even lets the position go, because look at this. He's going to be slowing down so much. Leviticus already up into 10th, so he's overtaken Hollywood. We go on board here. Let's see how much time he gains. Right on to the rear end of the Porsche. Gives him a little tap. And what's going to happen now? Going into this very fast right-hander. SMP does brake, does give the position over. But look at the time he's losing. He's losing so much time running the mediums right to the end. And Leviticus is now going to be a little bit stuck here behind Gilarabrain. Does Gilarabrain put up a defensive fight? He does. He closes the door on Leviticus. Leviticus can't get by. Really can't get by. Goes around the outside. Cannot make it work. Gilar closes the door again. And once again, Leviticus goes on the outside. Takes the long way around side by side through the second last corner. Final corner. Gets ahead up into 8th position. Fantastic driving by the two of them. Very fantastic driving. But now Gilarabrain in the slipstream, going side by side again into the first corner. What's going to happen? Late braking. Who's going to be lost on the brakes? Leviticus surely should have the advantage here. And he does. Leviticus does go ahead. And Gilara cannot reply on those used hard tires versus fresh mediums. I saw someone in the back going in. Yep, SMP3 Pro does go in. What does he do though? He's falling up. We'll see. He'll probably come out on the hard tires. Fluffy Butt now 5.7 seconds ahead. In clear air at the moment. Does go on the grass slightly. And was good, Stevie. No complaints. That's awesome. RBS, OJ, Steve still getting close in touch. And Serious Sam falling down. Can see what grip does. Yeah, how much it does affect the driving. Serious Sam now. The gap is closing down from Leviticus there. So we'll see. Oh, Sam goes very wide. Slides a little bit in the exit of that corner. So the NSX not loving the way the hard tires are working at the moment. 0.6 seconds separates Leviticus now. And this is the tight, twisty section of the track that you can't really sport and overtake. But will Leviticus commit to it? You can see as the track is now dark. You can see just how much the grip affects the car here. Leviticus has to slow down a whole lot. Sam just pushing ahead. Leviticus, is he going to go for that outside move again? No, he's going to wait it out. Sam goes wide, brakes late. And just shuts the door on Leviticus once again. But now Leviticus in the slipstream. He's going to be taking on Sam. Does he move out? Sam indicates for him to go by. He knows he can't really fight this one. Gets a little bit of a slide onto the grass a little, but gives Leviticus the place right at the end of the straight. And that's the sportsmanship we like to see. Sam is not fighting Leviticus at the moment, so he doesn't want to ruin his race by unnecessarily battling. You can see Gilarabrain is now catching up to Sam again. Hollywood 2 seconds away. Stiganator 14 seconds away from Hollywood. Fluffy Butt has now gone on to the hards. So he has 12 laps in total to do on these hard tires. OJJDS also going on to the hards. SMP3. He is now firmly on the hard tires. So we'll see what the lap times are going to be like. And Kennel's all the way at the back. Looks like he had another mistake and he's going in for the pits again. Oh, so this is his second pit stop. I wonder if he's going to be standing in or just chilling out. Ruan, though, in the interim lead of the race. And this might be the undercut that Ruan needs to get into the lead or to get some major time back against Leviticus here. Based on what's going to happen now, depending on where Leviticus resides at the end of the pit stop, Ruan might be looking for a win this time. You can see the tires are gone off though. Ruan is completely maintaining his tires though. So he's going to go probably for another lap. 100% he is. Is RBS going? No, he's going into the pits. Steve is also going into the pits on his mediums. RSA going into the pits. Serious Sam going for another lap. And funny enough, Serious Sam's front tires are less worn than the rears. So we can see the difference in the car's strengths there. Strengths or weaknesses. Jade Hub open, you're checking into the stream. How's it, bud? Welcome in, Gonewa. Definitely making the 2-stop hard for Levy. For sure, for sure. So 6.6 seconds separate the Virtuous from Ruan now. And again, Ruan is on the one stop for certain. Sam is on the one stop for certain. Gilara also. They're chilling out. 20 seconds separate them from Fluffy Butt here. And now the pace is going to be relatively the same for Fluffy Butt. Maybe slightly faster than Sam and Gilara at the moment on these used hard tires. But it's crazy to see that difference. If you look at Gilara and Sam's tires, the NSX really, really hard on its rears. You see, as Fluffy Butt comes around, the track is getting, I don't know, is that lighter or darker? I don't know. The way the sunset works in this game is really odd. Ruan is super consistent, as he always is. But I shall not say, look at that, all the way from lap 2 up until lap 12. Not even every lap within a second of each other. This is Ruan's race. Honestly speaking, this is Ruan's race. The Virtuous was heavily held back by traffic as he went into the pits. But Ruan running hard. He should be coming, okay, well, he's into the pits right now. And he should be coming out ahead of traffic with clear air on the fresh mediums. This is going to be exactly what he needs. Sam going for another lap. Gilara going in again. No, not again, sorry. I was thinking of other drivers, but anyway. Gilara in, Ruan in. Hard tires. We're going to see if this overcut is going to help Sam in any way. He wants to do as many laps as he can as the hards. Maybe because he's in fear of the rear tires burning out too much. But you can see 147... 149s by Serious Sam, 147.8 by Fluffy Butt. So still relatively good pace on the hard tires. And we'll see what's going to happen now with the one stop from Fluffy Butt and the two stop from the Virtuous versus one stop from other drivers. Ruan coming out slightly ahead. So we can see OJ GTS is 1.6 seconds away from Ruan. So a massive undercut for those fresh hard tires. But from next lap, Ruan is going to be flying. But we'll see. Maybe he'll even set the fastest lap. Ruan doing incredibly well here. GTSA also give a shout out to him because he always comes back with some spicy strategies. Fills up less fuel than RBS. So look at the time RBS lost out. Seeing as OJGDS and I think RBS went into pit at the same time. But now RBS is on the mediums. So RBS lost about 6 seconds from refueling. Pay that into mind. Steve now onto the hard tires and is falling very far behind. Unfortunately now, it's the worst time to be on the harder tires when the track is cold. So those tires are going to take a while to actually kick in. SMP3 with front bumper damage. I wonder where that happened. Stiganator now catching up. Kennels looks like he's given up on the race, unfortunately. It just looks like things didn't work out for him, so he's parking himself in the pits. Serious Sam now, speaking of pits. Sam is into the pits. He's falling up now. Fluffy Butt does take second position again. Ruan takes third position. And things are as they stand. But now Ruan is on a charge to chase down Fluffy Butt. And possibly Levirtius as well. Levirtius has to come in for another stop. So we'll see that 28 seconds if it will be falling down as much as it needs to. I think you need about 26 seconds to do a pit stop without fuel, which is what Levirtius is going to do. So we'll see. We'll see how much of an effect. It's either 26 or 28 seconds without fuel. Ruan now 2.7 seconds ahead of OJ. He's going to be increasing that gap as he drives on. GTRSA, he's on the medium, so he's going to be catching and fighting OJ for 4th place here at the moment. RBS GT also fighting for 4th, so is Serious Sam. And Sam has already pulled in some time. 1 second ahead of Gilara, so there might be a contest for 8th as well. Steve is going to be slowly falling behind now. As he's on the hard tires, so He's going to be losing pace, slides out of the apron, just manages to catch it. Hollywood coming out, and he's going to have an advantage. He's going to be closing up some time to Steve, but is Steve going to block him? Let's see what happens. What goes down here on the tight twisty section where you can't really overtake. It's possible, but it's dangerous. Ruan frying the pistons on that mecha. Yeah. Oh, your brake pedal is screwing around. Kendall says his brake pedal is screwing around. Can't race like that. 100%, dude. That's not ideal. Definitely not ideal. Oh, Hollywood gets very close to Steve there as we look in the second last corner. And now heading on to the straight. We got, I think, somewhat like 3 battles here. Hollywood with the slipstream does go side by side and ahead of Steve without having to worry about any battling. But Gilaro Brain does go for Sam, so Sam has got a terrible exit out of that corner and lets Gilaro by, but he does have 1 lap better tires, so maybe it took a little bit of a while for those medium tires to kick in for Serious Sam there. But he's now going to be fighting Gilaro for the 7th position. RBS has some breathing room, but he's trying to catch up to his 5th position held by GTSA at the moment. OJ looked like he went on the grass there. He did for a second, but it wasn't enough to spin him out or anything like that. Ruan flying 146.7 currently. He can go faster. This we know. He's getting his rhythm. He's getting his rhythm. So we'll see some faster laps surely from SBR Ruan here. Fluffy Butt is going to be checking his mirrors very soon. He's going to be seeing the lights pop out in the rear view mirror. Oh, yo, for straight line on that Supra. Yeah, very much so. That Supra has some speed and power, as Jeremy Clarkson says. OJ and GTRSA right in a battle for 4th right now. Looks like the mediums weren't the best tire to start on. The Virtuous now in the pits. What's going to happen? Fluffy Butt does go ahead. Onto the hards goes Levitius. And where I'm getting lost, SBR Ruan challenging for position, but not close enough. So Levitius now on the hard tires is going to do 7 laps on the hards, and he has to defend now from Ruan, which will give Fluffy Butt for the position. So there's a battle for podium and a battle for the win going on right now. Ruan has a definite advantage over these guys. Levitius on cold hard tires. Fluffy Butt on fairly used hard tires. Ruan on fairly fresh mediums. OJ on used softs. GTRSA used mediums. Used mediums on RBS. Used mediums on Kilara. Relatively fresh on Sam. Relatively used on Hollywood. Relatively fresh on Steve's side, but he's on the racing hard tires. Mediums for Stiganator. Racing hards for SMP, and unfortunately has some hefty bumper damage there, so he's going to be losing out on a big chunk of time. Sorry, I was stuck on my spit there. On the hard tires. Let me take a sip of water again. Woo, there we go. Ruan closing up the gap to Levitius now. GTRSA is now ahead of OJ just before the tight twisty section. So now he has to gun it for either to secure 4th position or to get ahead of RBS as much as he can. Grab a Slayer rev. I already had one for today. I needed it. So I cannot down 2 Slayers in the same day. I'm going to freaking murder myself. Would not like to see that on the stream. But Gilara and Sam still fighting close contention. Gilara goes defensive on the straightaway. What happens? Late braking into the first corner, and the outside is not where you want to be. But close fighting from the two of them. Last few laps are going to be exciting. Gap closing very quickly, very much so. And look at this. 3-way battle for the win right now. Alpha versus Ferrari versus McLaren. That sounds like it could be put into Formula 1 terms, but Alpha is actually at the moment nowhere to be found. You had to put a green Kick Sauber livery on. Is Is SBR Rowan gonna go for the move? He does go for a late move onto Levitius. Gets ahead with a feisty, aggressive move right there. Something that you would see from Oscar Piastri there in the McLaren. Well done. But now he has to defend. Levy catching Fluffy. Well, Rowan has just passed Levitius there. So an outstanding set of moves here, and Rowan is still on the charge to go for that first place. Fluffy Butt is going to be defending. What a Lando dive. Rowan catching both. 100%. Let's see what happens. Levitius is losing a little bit of ground. Fluffy Butt. Defensive. But is going to be on the back foot now towards the straight. The Alpha does not have as much straight line speed as the McLaren. So here we go for the lead in the slipstream. Is it going to be enough? Slightly goes out of slipstream, Rowan does. Looks like the Alpha does maintain its speed. Rowan does get very close. Maybe just nicks the back of the bumper there. And Levitius is in the rear view mirrors. You see those lights. You can see those lights are right on the approach as they're driving through. This is incredible driving from the guys here. This is where it's at. There is still a battle going on between Sirius Sam and Gilara as well. I can see it on the track map. Very close, but Gilara's defending 7th place from Sam at the moment. Rowan's going to be using... Messi just came through late. Yeah, I did. And the stream delay. So the delay is quite hectic. I think about watching the stream myself, you're about... What's this? Let me see. 15 seconds behind me at the moment. Based off the stream. But yeah, SBR Rowan does get the lead. As I'm looking at I was looking at the bloody screen and didn't see that overtake at the airport. But now also for 2nd place, Levitius goes for a massive send on an unknowing corner. Okay, that was wild by Levitius there. So we got a triple position change here. Rowan takes the lead and is now going to be running away as the hard tires cannot keep up pace with the medium tires here. Levitius is going to try everything, but he's going to be on the back foot of these these tires at the moment. So now all Rowan needs to do is bring it home. Levitius is going to try and put up the best fight as he can on the hard tires, as anything can happen. Fluffy Butt already falling 4 seconds behind. So had a fair couple of moments in that lap, which is now leaving him to being attacked by GTRSA. GTRSA with a possible podium again this season. Not this season, again for GTSA this year. He's won a race, I think it was earlier this year in the first season. Has won a race before, but now he's striking for that podium. 3 laps to go, and it looks like it is possible. That gap is closing rapidly. Meanwhile, the gap is also closing from OJJDS to RBS. So a battle for 5th, a battle for 1st, a battle for podium, a battle for 7th. And it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. Levitius is keeping on touch with Rowan. He's trying to psych Rowan out at the moment. So we'll see if Rowan can just keep his head cool. He just needs to bring it home. He can even slightly slow down the pace. Not too much though, as Levitius is pushing. He is gunning for that 1st place position. He wants that win with every ounce of core that he has. We'll keep an eye on this fight for a little bit. Rowan does not want to spend too much effort on those tires to make them too used for the last 2 laps, as Levitius is going to have better performing tires towards the end of the race here. We'll see if Rowan can keep Levitius out of the slipstream. That'll be perfect, and he does just that. The slipstream is about 0.75 seconds. Levitius is now in the slipstream. I think the Ferrari does have better straight line speed. Ferrari did not give Lev the slow button. Definitely. He's most likely on plan A for sure. GTRSA now half a second away from GTRSA. Battle for podium over here. And OJJDS goes off onto the grass. leaving him very prone to attack now by RBS as well. GTRSA closing up the gap there, and now the battle ensues for 5th position. Leviticus still battling, trying to keep up with Ruan for 1st place. He's closing down the gap as much as it closes. The next set of corners it opens. So we'll see. We'll have to bounce around these battles every couple of bloody seconds here. Serious Sam being closed in by Hollywood now. Hollywood also on the charge. But Sam does have better tires. He just cannot make that NSX handle the way he wants it to. OJDS, Fluffy Butt, GTRSA loses a bit of touch here towards the after the hairpin. OJ keeping RBS behind just well enough, and he has to do this for another 2 more laps. He also wants to keep that AMG out of the slipstream, but I think the Aston Martin has good top end, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see how that works now down on the straights. GTRSA now battling on the final set of corners. That Alpha is making move. Fluffy Butt is keeping in touch just in the slipstream. Ruan just out of slipstream, so he's gaining time ever so slightly. A 10 separates them. Leviticus slides around the first corner, loses a hefty chunk of time though, but he's going to be running. He's running almost like pretty much medium times on those hard tires, so the push is insane. Straight line is a joke. Make me choke on my own self here. RBS goes for a wide outside turn, brakes late, gets on the throttle a bit late. I think it was a bit too deep of a send there, but they are nearly side by side. RBS looking for that move, but his tires are going out. If OJ can keep up the defense for this lap, I don't think RBS will be able to put up a fight next lap. You can see he's already losing touch very slightly on these tires, but he's trying to make it count. The gap closing also between Sam and Gilara as well. Gilara is putting on a massive defense, defending for his life like it's the championship. We will see, does he make the switcheroo move? No, he doesn't. He's looking for another move. Gilara goes defensive again, and we know Gilara has a very, very strong defense. He plants a house there. Sam going very wide, and he has to back off from the charge again, moving Hollywood at much closer to the position. Still under a second separates Ruan and Leviticus. I think Ruan's heart is palpitating right now. Half a second separates first and second place going into the final lap, final straight, and we see the charge is on. It's not enough to make a move. Why no back markers? Because it's pool 1, pool 0.5 or in something like that. 0.3 seconds separate the two of them. Fluffy Butt gets all kinds of snaky. Will GTRSA go for a move? He does look on the inside, side by side through the first corners, but Fluffy Butt does block it off. Going back to the first second. The hairpin. Ruan gets under attack by Leviticus. They go side by side going through to this long snaking right hand corner. Leviticus does take the lead. Is it going to be set though? Those tires are crying for dear life for Ruan. He's gonna go for a move. Leviticus is gonna go defensive here going into the hairpin. What's gonna happen? Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Little bit of sliding from Leviticus there. What a charge from Leviticus. That is insane pace. Ruan cannot reply just yet. GTRSA is still behind Fluffy, but OJ is still ahead of RBS. Gilara's ahead of Sam. And these battles are going to look spicy. What's going to happen? The last few corners coming around here. First and second place. Can Ruan do anything in these last few corners? Ruan goes a little bit onto the grass, and I think that might be it for his race. Leviticus has shown his prowess tonight by showing off what he can do with this pace, and defends Ruan to take the win by 0.6 seconds. Fluffy Butt and GTRSA also running very close. Just under 2 tenths for the two of them. OJ does protect his first place from RBS. Kilara does protect his 7th place from Sam. And Hollywood looks like he might have made a mistake or two. And is now under attack by his teammate Steve. This is insane. Hollywood finishing 9th. Steve in 10th. Stiganator does go ahead of SMP3 Pro. Look at, you can see how much that bumper damage and also the running long on the medium tires has made a difference for Stiganator and SMP. But what a race by these two drivers here. Levitius and Ruan right down to the nail. I mean, for everyone, for all the pairs driving here. Fluffy Butt and GTRSA, OJ and RBS, Gilara and Sam. Extreme racing. What? I'm lost for words here. And unfortunately, Kennels that can't. Why is that pit 2 running there? He's just checking up on Kennels' mental stability here at the moment. But what? I'm at a loss for words here. Appreciate you guys coming through for the stream. Don't forget to like and share. If you're not subscribed, why? Subscribe. Again, big shout out to our sponsors: Rhino Utilities, Mayfair Gearbox, Right Recruitment, TGN Racing Simulators, Track Art, and to you guys for being here. Otherwise, I would not have. Kennel's having a good laugh about it. Driver of the day goes to Shoaib. Man almost caught Fluffy at the end. Always the underdog. 100% worth you there, my guy. 100% 100% worth you there. Driving an excellent job, maintaining the tires. But Fluffy Butt also, with the prowess of maintaining tires on the Alfa Romeo, a good job by Fluffy Butt. Doesn't manage to keep the 2nd place in the end, but I'll give it to Levy to make the 2-stop work. 100%. That's also something we have to consider. As Levitius made 2 stops where everyone else made 1. It shows you how much of a difference you can make on pure solid pace and a nice set of fresh medium tires versus longer run on hards. It shows you that the 2 strategies were not too far against each other. We're just gonna wait for maybe another minute or so or less for the timer to run down. But we have to compliment all our drivers here. Fluffy Butt's AI is driving very slowly here. When it comes to Lev, whatever he cooks, he will cook. That is 100% certain, my guy. That was a phenomenal race. All of you. It was a phenomenal race. Well done to our drivers here. Let's see, Levitius finishes first by 6 tenths of a second, just under 7 tenths, setting a 146.282. Ruan in second, unfortunately losing out right at the end there. 146.63 was his fastest lap. Fluffy Butt in the 4C, battling in close contention with GTRSA for 3rd and 4th. OJGDS and RBS racing. I must say, for OJ to put that advantage on the top 5 was also a hefty struggle. So well done to OJ as well. RBS making that Merc work real hard. I think if he didn't save fuel, he would have been in the battle for 4th as well. Well, for the podium. Could have been possibly with the run with GTRSA and Fluffy Butt. Gilara keeps his position against Serious Sam. Didn't have a good run with that NSX, so it looks like that car's a very tough cookie to handle. Hollywood in 9th, Kev or Steve in 10th, Stiganator finishing 11th, and SMP3 Pro finishing in 12th. And unfortunate Kennels with braking situations as to break himself into pool 2 now. Top 5 in a mid-tier car is just Ricardo things. Yeah, this man likes to call himself the reincarnation of Ricardo, so he's making it work with that Visa Cash App Red Bull Pay Slayer delivery. That's still a mouthful. But thank you guys so much for joining. That was an amazing race to commentate. Once again, thanks for the race. That was phenomenal by all of our drivers. And yeah, I'm out of breath now. I want to go eat something. Have a good evening, everyone, and have a good weekend ahead. We will see you guys next week for the Nations Cup race, where I will not be commentating, but Stephen will. So brace yourselves for some Stevenage. Have a good evening, guys. Shout out to our sponsors again, and again, leave a like, share, subscribe, do the things, and I will see you guys in the next one. Good night.